So you have decided to buy a Ronbus Quanta, and with the option of 5 different models, you're not quite sure which one to get. And so just going to go through these real quick. I am going to start with the R1. So the R1, in my opinion, is kind of the happy medium paddle. It is elongated, so it's got good reach, 16.5 inches long. However, the top's notched off, so it's a little lower swing weight, which will lower the sweet spot a little more to the center of the paddle. This right here is my personal preference, and I like that right there. I did add weight to mine, but it's great for its fairly quick hands. It's not as quick as the standard shapes, as we'll talk about shortly, but it is fairly quick hands. It's fairly nimble, and with this rounded spot, I just feel it's a little quicker getting from spot to spot. We're going to go to the other elongated, which is the R3. Now the R3 is elongated, same length, except the top is more square. What that does is it raises your sweet spot. This right here, I really recommend for the tennis players, or tennis style, where you're doing that hard drive. Lots of times you're hitting up towards that top, putting top spin coming up on that ball. Absolutely great for that right there. It is a little more head heavy. These paddles are not head heavy at all, so it is not much head heavy. But if you add weight, you're going to notice it more. Then we're going to go to the hybrid. So the hybrid is going to be between the elongated, which we just talked about those two, and the standard or wide bodies, which we're going to talk about in a minute. So this right here is probably my second favorite. It is very close to the elongated with, there we go, get there with the round top, except it is a little bit wider. And in the throat, you can see it's cut a little bit more because it's just a little bit shorter. And we're not talking much, but it is just a little bit. This right here also is going to have a nice sweet spot. It's going to be towards that middle. This does have a little bit more flare, and with that moves it up just a little bit more than the standard wide body, which we'll talk about in a minute. Very good. Again, the weight's going to help move that sweet spot where you want. This right here is just kind of that happy medium. You know, you want quick hands. It's going to be quicker hands than the elongated. And you want something with good driving speed. It's going to also have that right there. Now, the next two we're going to talk about will be the standard wide body style shape. So we've got 2 different models of those. We're going to talk about R2 first. The R2 is going to have a sweet spot more right in the center of the paddle. It's going to have the best twist weight. So if you hit a ball off to the side, it's going to be more stable. I always call these like ping pong paddle players, people that play a lot of ping pong. They're nice, they're quick, very fast at the net. What I find, and I personally prefer the R5, which is the other standard. It's the same length. It's actually the same. The widest part is the same. I know it's a little bit deceiving when you look at it because it flares at the bottom. But with that flare at the bottom, it does bring that sweet spot up just a little bit more than the standard. This one's going to be more in the middle. This one's going to be moved up just a little bit. Also, I feel that when you have, if you look at this part right here, this is going to be a little bit better for that two-handed backhand. You're able to fit that up on that throat a little better. With this one, it ends up choking down just a little bit more. Also, and nobody really has talked about this, but this is something that I've kind of noticed with playing with the different shape paddles, is when you have this wide body, you're pushing more wind because you have more surface. With this one here, there's a little less surface, and you're going to be pushing a little bit of wind. I think of when I was a kid, I put my hand out the window, and obviously I have just a little bit bigger hand, it's going to catch more wind. And so this right here is probably my third. So my first is probably the R1, then my second would be the R4, and then my third favorite is the R5. This is going to be very quick in the hands. This is going to have good power because of the Quanta. The sweet spot's going to be up a little bit higher than on this one here. Probably this one's a little larger sweet spot, the R2. The R5 is just a hair smaller, but it'd be the second largest of the 5 of them. Very good choices. Honestly, I think you could grab any of them, and a lot of it is what you're used to. And so if you're used to the flat top elongated, definitely that's what I would go with. If you're used to the pancake flipper or the pizza flipper or whatever shape, a little more standard wide body, definitely right there. This you know, this is I think a game changer. I haven't really seen any other paddles shaped quite like this for a standard wide body paddle with that much of a flare and with where you can grab a little better. I'm really excited about this paddle. I think people are going to absolutely love it. I do like mine just a little bit longer, and so whether I do the 4 or the 1, both very good. Like I say, I think this one's my favorite. I do like to rip on a drive now and then, and it gives me a little bit extra on my serves and stuff. But this is the lineup. We've got R1 again, elongated with a curved top. R2 is a standard shape, largest sweet spot of all of them. R3, best for tennis style play, nice drives, a little bit more head heavy. R4 is a hybrid. There is going to be fairly quick in the hands, kind of a cross between the elongated and the standard. And the new R5 shape is, I'm gonna call it a hybrid wide body. I don't know if that's quite the right word, but it is definitely a wide body. But it's got the round top, a little bit more in the throat taken out, and also this here is fairly quick. It's not catch the wind quite as much as the R2. This is an absolutely great choice. So here are the paddles. Let me know if you got any questions.